Your suit alarm chirps. 2 short tones. 6 a.m. Mars time. You're already awake. You've been lying in the dark for 20 minutes listening to the HAB's air handlers cycle, watching the frost on the inside of the porthole catch the first gray hint of dawn. Sol 247. 247 days since the descent stage cut its engines, and you felt Martian ground under you for the first time. You'd think the strangeness would wear off. It hasn't. Not really. You swing your legs out of the bunk. In this gravity, 38% of what your body spent 30 years learning, your legs come up too fast, and you have to catch yourself against the wall like you do every single morning. Your inner ear still hasn't signed the paperwork. Outside, past the double pane, the landscape is emerging. Butterscotch sky, going pale at the horizon. Rocks throwing shadows 100 meters long. You've walked out that airlock 400 times. Your heart still races every time. The HAB is small. Smaller than people imagine when they watch the launch footage. 6 meters across, curved aluminum walls, everything bolted down or velcroed or clipped. It smells like warm electronics and the faint sourness of the water recycler. After 247 sols, you don't notice the smell anymore, which is its own kind of unsettling when you stop to think about it. You start where you always start. The panel by the galley. Oxygen partial pressure. Nominal. Water reclamation. 94% efficiency. Down a point, you make a note. Power reserves. You'll know more once you see the arrays. You thumb through the overnight log. No alarms. A good night is a boring night. Then the suit. People think suiting up is quick. It isn't. It's a ritual. And you do it in the same order every time because the one time you don't is the time you die. Thermal liner first, the mesh that carries warm water against your skin. Because out there the cold will pull the heat out of you like a straw. Then the pressure garment. Then the hard upper torso, ducking up into it from below, arms searching for the sleeves. Gloves. Seals checked, twisted, checked again. Helmet. The world goes quiet except for the fan and your own breathing, suddenly very loud and very close. You run the pressure check. The suit holds 1/3 of an atmosphere against a near vacuum outside. The Martian air is about 0.6% of Earth's sea level pressure. That's not thin air. That's essentially no air. Step outside without this suit and the moisture on your tongue would boil while you froze. The suit says green. You cycle the airlock. The pumps hammer, reclaiming the air. Air is too precious to just vent, and the sound thins, and then there's a pressure you feel in your chest more than here, and the outer door unseals. And you step out onto Mars. The cold registers first, not on your skin, but as a number. Suit exterior reads -94 Celsius. It's pre-dawn. The ground gave up all its heat to space overnight. The regolith crunches under your boots, a sound that travels up through the soles rather than through the air because there's almost no air to carry it. The horizon is wrong. It always gets you. Mars is a smaller world, barely more than half Earth's radius, and the ground curves away closer and steeper. You feel standing there like you're on top of something, like you could walk to the edge. First real task of the Sol, the ice. You walk to the extraction rig, 300 meters east, and the walk itself is a skill. In this gravity, you don't stride. You lope. Too much push, and you're airborne with nowhere good to land. Your servos whir at the knees. Boots crunch. Breath fogs and vanishes. Why ice? Because ice is everything. Curiosity and the orbiters mapped huge reserves of subsurface water ice across the mid-latitudes, and that is the whole reason your base sits where it sits. Water is drinking water. Split it, and it's oxygen to breathe. Split it, and store the hydrogen, and it's rocket propellant. The ride home. This is ISRU. In situ resource utilization, and it is the difference between a visit and a foothold. The rig has been drilling on a timer since before dawn. You check the auger, and there's your first problem of the day, the dust. Martian dust is not like Earth dust. It's iron oxide, ground finer than talcum powder, and it's electrostatically clingy and mildly oxidizing, chemically reactive, faintly caustic. It gets into things. It's frosted the intake filter on the extractor overnight, and flow is down. You pull the filter, and even through the gloves you're careful, because this stuff is the enemy of every seal and bearing and lung on the planet. You knock it clean. Reseat it. Flow comes back. Turbidity readings settle. Extraction nominal, you say, mostly to hear a voice. Filter was choked. Cleared it. You send that down to Earth, and here's the strange part of every message. Right now, Earth is roughly 11 light minutes away. Your words will cross that gap and land in Houston, and if someone answers immediately, their reply won't reach you for another 11 minutes. 22 minutes, round trip on a good geometry. There is no conversation. There are only messages drifting past each other in the dark. The sun is climbing now, shadows pulling in. The light is dim. Mars gets about 43% of the sunlight Earth does, so even high noon here feels like a long Earth twilight. And it's all faintly orange, filtered through suspended dust. You watch the water tank tick upward. Liters. Actual liters, pulled out of a frozen world. Small victory, you'll take it. Midday. The warmest it gets, which today means minus 68. You almost laugh at the word warm. Second task, a survey transect to the west, toward the old channel. You've been walking it in sections, sampling, because the mission scientists back home think this was a stream bed once. Flowing water, billions of years ago, when Mars had a thicker atmosphere and a warmer face. Perseverance found organic molecules and ancient river deposits in Jezero crater. Every sample bag out here is a small vote in the biggest question anyone's ever asked. Were we ever not alone? You crouch by a layered outcrop. The rock tells time in bands. You chip a sample, bag it, tag it, photograph it. Routine. Careful. The hands know the work. And this is where it gets quiet. Not just the silence, though the silence is total. No wind today, nothing but your own breath and the tick of the suit and the occasional hiss of the radio carrier. It's the aloneness. The nearest other human is inside the hab. And the nearest other humans after that are a planet, a vacuum, and 11 light minutes away. You are, functionally, the loneliest a person can be and still be alive. Your mind drifts, the way it always does out here, to a kitchen table, to someone's laugh, to a question with no good answer. Why am I the one standing here? Then your glove finds the next sample, and the question lets go of you, because that's the truth nobody tells you about this place. The work saves you. The routine is the thing that holds. You bag the sample. You move to the next station. Purpose isn't a feeling out here. It's a task list. You look up once, and Earth is there. A blue-white point, low in the tan sky, the brightest thing after the sun. Everyone you've ever known is standing on that dot. You look for a moment longer than you need to. Then you get back to work. The light starts to lean. By mid-afternoon, the shadows are stretching again, and the temperature's already turning back down. Sol is 24.6 hours, only about 40 minutes longer than an Earth day, which sounds trivial and is not, because those 40 minutes slide later every day until your body has no idea what a morning is anymore. You stow the tools, secure the sample cases. Wines are calm today, but you lash things anyway. Because Mars has moods, and global dust storms are real, and one can rise up and swallow the entire planet for weeks. You never leave gear to chance. One last check. Anything forgotten stays out here until tomorrow, and coming back through the airlock is never free. Then you stop. Because it's happening. The sun is dropping toward that too-close horizon, and the sky is changing. The butterscotch deepens to a dusty orange, then a bruised salmon, and the shadows run out toward you like something poured. And around the sun, where an Earth sunset would blaze red and gold, the sky is turning blue. This is the thing. On Earth, our air scatters blue light away and leaves the sunset red. On Mars, it's inverted. The fine dust suspended everywhere scatters the red and lets the blue through, and it pools closest to the sun. So as the disk sinks, a cool blue halo spreads around it, right there in a sky that's still tan at the edges, a blue sunset on a butterscotch world. It is the single most alien, beautiful thing you have ever seen, and Spirit and Curiosity both sent home photographs of it. And none of the photographs are this. The blue deepens. The sun touches the horizon, and because there's so little atmosphere to hold the light, it goes fast. Not the long Earth dusk. A quick fade to purple, to indigo, to dark. The temperature reading drops as you stand there, like the planet exhaling. You're the only human for 50 million kilometers. And for about 90 seconds, you don't do anything about that at all. You just watch. Then the cold gets honest, and you turn for home. Full dark now, your helmet lamps throw 2 cones of light, and the ground you know by daylight looks like a stranger. But look up. No air worth mentioning, no cities, no moon bright enough to wash it out. The Milky Way is there, edge on, a river of it, more stars than sky. Earth is a hard, bright point sitting on the black rim of another world. You stand a second in that. Then you walk, boots crunching, breath loud, radio hissing its empty carrier tone. Airlock. The pumps run in reverse, the pressure builds, and before the inner door you run decon. Because you do not ever bring that oxidizing dust inside. It's corrosive, it's an inhalation hazard, and it does not belong in your lungs. Suit off, in reverse order. Helmet, gloves, the hard shell, the liner, each piece lighter off than on, and there it is. The small daily miracle of moving your own arms without a suit fighting you. The warm air of the hab on your actual skin. 21 degrees. After a day at -70, it feels tropical. You eat. It's a rehydrated tray, and honestly, after 247 sols, you barely taste it. Fuel, mostly. Then the messages. They've been queuing all day. That delay means Earth talks at you on its own schedule, and you collect the results at night. Mission updates, a soil chemistry query from the science team. And down at the bottom, a personal one. Someone at home. A few lines. A photo. Something ordinary. It lands harder than it should, the way ordinary things do from 50 million kilometers out. You read it twice. You log the sol, water up. 1 filter cleared, 6 samples west of the channel. Blue sunset. You write that down too, even though it's not data. Some things you record just so they happened. Then the bunk. The frost creeping back onto the porthole, the air handlers cycling in the dark. Tomorrow is Sol 248, and it will be almost exactly like today. The suit ritual, the crunch of regolith, the dust in the filter, the butterscotch sky. That's the secret they don't put in the recruitment videos. Life on Mars is mostly routine. Careful, repetitive, survivable routine, but somewhere inside that routine is the fact that you are standing on another planet. That every ordinary morning happens in the most extraordinary place a human being has ever been. And that feeling, the one that races your heart at the airlock door, it hasn't gone away in 247 sols. You don't think it ever will. Sol 248 tomorrow. Then 249. And the regolith will crunch under your boots, and the butterscotch sky will be waiting. This is what a day on Mars actually looks like.